Daniel was 23, studying economics at a state university, juggling part-time work at a bookstore, and still unable to make ends meet. His father had passed away when he was 12, and his mother, his only family, had been fighting illness for years. Every day was a battle between giving up and holding on. One evening, while serving coffee at a charity event his university organized, Daniel noticed an elderly woman sitting alone at a corner table. She had an aura of quiet grace, silver hair perfectly set, eyes like time had seen too much yet softened with compassion. Her name was Eleanor Hastings, a 71-year-old retired art collector, philanthropist, and one of the city's most respected millionaires. When Daniel brought her a cup of tea, he noticed her hands trembled slightly as she tried to hold the cup. Without a word, he gently steadied it for her. That small act of kindness broke the silence between them. They spoke about art, literature, and life. Eleanor found in him something rare, genuine warmth in a world that often saw her wealth, not her heart. Daniel saw in her a soul that had known both grandeur and loneliness. Over the next few weeks they met again, sometimes for tea, sometimes just for a quiet walk in the park. Daniel never treated her differently because of her status, and she never looked down on his struggles. Then one evening, Eleanor asked him something that would change his destiny. She said, "Daniel, I have no one left. My husband passed away decades ago and I never had children. I want to do something meaningful before I leave this world. I'd like to offer you a strange proposal, marry me." Daniel froze. He thought she was joking, but her eyes, gentle and sincere, told him otherwise. She didn't want love in the romantic sense. She wanted companionship, someone she could trust with her last days and someone to inherit what she had built. In return, she promised to pay for his mother's treatment, his education, and give him financial security for life. Daniel wrestled with guilt and confusion, but when he saw his mother's fragile body and the unpaid hospital bills, he knew what he had to do. Their wedding was simple, no grand celebration, no media frenzy. Just two people signing a paper, bound by kindness and circumstance. People whispered behind his back, calling him a gold digger, a fraud, a disgrace. Daniel ignored them all, though their words cut deep. He had made peace with his choice, not for greed but for survival. Yet deep down he respected Eleanor deeply. She treated him not as a caretaker or beneficiary, but as family. For 7 days, their home was filled with quiet companionship. Eleanor showed him her art collection, told stories of her youth, and shared wisdom that moved him in ways no lecture ever could. Daniel began to see her differently, not as a woman of wealth, but as a soul who had carried loneliness for far too long. Then, on the 7th morning, everything changed. When Daniel woke up, Eleanor's room was empty. Her favorite chair by the window was cold. On the desk lay a sealed envelope with his name written in her delicate handwriting. His hands trembled as he opened it. Inside was a letter and a single key. The letter read, "My dear Daniel, if you are reading this, it means my time has come. Don't cry for me. I have lived a long life, but it was only in these last 7 days that I felt truly at peace. You gave me more than you realize, kindness without expectation and company without condition. You reminded me what it feels like to be seen, not as a fortune, but as a person. This house, the gallery, and everything I own now belong to you. Use it to change lives the way you changed mine. The key belongs to the gallery basement. You will understand everything when you go there. With love, Eleanor." Daniel rushed to the basement, his heart pounding. When he unlocked the door, he found a small, dimly lit room. On the walls hung paintings, hundreds of them, all of him. Portraits she had painted secretly over the past weeks, capturing every emotion he had shown, every smile, every flicker of kindness. In the center of the room stood one unfinished painting, Eleanor's self-portrait, her eyes half done, as if waiting for someone to complete it. He fell to his knees, tears streaming down his face. She had seen beauty in his struggle, and in return, she had immortalized him in her art. The gallery became a symbol of love beyond age, beyond wealth, beyond understanding. Months later, Daniel turned her mansion into the Hastings Home for Hope, a free art and education center for struggling students and lonely elders. He completed her last painting himself, her face smiling softly, surrounded by colors of sunrise. Every morning, people came to the gallery, touched by the story of the young man and the elderly woman whose bond had changed both their lives forever. Daniel's life became a testament to grace, the kind that transcends judgment, the kind that heals broken hearts. He never remarried, saying, "Eleanor gave me something no one else ever could, faith in humanity. Years later, when reporters asked him what shocked him most after that seventh day, Daniel smiled through tears and said, "It wasn't the fortune. It was realizing that someone could love me enough to see beyond my poverty and make me rich in ways money could never touch." And in that quiet home-turned-gallery, the scent of old paint and memory lingered. Each canvas whispered the same message to every visitor: kindness costs nothing, but it changes everything.